I get the pleasure of introducing quite a few people to you today. First of all, I want to congratulate the Student Athletes of the Year from each school. I've had the pleasure of getting to watch all of you compete at some point in time over the last few years, and I think we have great representation here from each school. Thank you to the coaches in the room who were able to take time out of their day to come here. I know that the student athletes certainly appreciate that. First, I'd like to introduce our district leadership team that is here with us today, starting with Dr. Richard O'Malley, our superintendent, Mr. Kyle Jones, the deputy superintendent, Mr. Greg Hall, assistant superintendent over secondary education, and Ms. Michelle Wynn, assistant superintendent over the elementary education. We have a few board members here with us today. Board chairman, Mr. Porter Stewart, and board secretary, Ms. Kimry Ann Hahn. I think that's the only ones I saw come in today. If there's anybody else here, welcome. The principals for each school, Ms. Shan Josie from South Florence, Mr. Matt Dowdell from West Florence, and Dr. Eric Robinson from Wilson High School. We certainly could not do what we do without those individuals. Please make sure you understand the impact that they have on athletics. I know that you guys don't see the time and the effort that they put into our athletic programs, but they are very influential in the success of our student athletes. And then last but not least, our athletic directors from West Florence, Mr. Greg Johnson, from Wilson High School, Mr. Derek McQueen, and then I am Cody Slaughter from South Florence High School. This time I want to introduce our guest speaker for today, Mr. Barrett Klinkenecht. He is a proud 2006 graduate of West Florence High School, where he was a standout two-sport athlete excelling in both baseball and football. His senior year, he earned all-state honors in baseball and was named the Florence One School's Male Athlete of the Year. He went on to attend Francis Marion University, where his collegiate baseball career culminated in being named an All-American in 2010. That same year, Barrett was drafted in the 11th round by the Atlanta Braves, launching a 6-year professional career where he finished playing AAA and later coached for 5 seasons with the Braves minor league system. After retiring from baseball to focus on his family, Barrett returned to Florence and launched his own business in 2020. He has since been honored with induction into both the Florence Athletic Hall of Fame and the Francis Marion University Athletic Hall of Fame. A dedicated community member, Barrett remains active in local service organizations such as the Miracle League, Cooks for Christ, New Spring Church, and often speaks to student athletes through local high school FCA programs. Please welcome Mr. Barrett Klinkenecht up here to speak to us today.
I have no idea why people enjoy doing this or want to do this. It's pretty nervous, especially just to add fuel to the fire that I'm in a room full of my wife's colleagues and bosses. So please don't take my lack of speaking ability, don't put that on her. But when Greg Hall asked me to speak, I kind of laughed a little bit because I remember when I was sitting in these seats, and I started thinking about like what things my parents said, and they were talking about how fast time went by, and I remember saying, you're old, don't worry about it. They don't know what they're talking about. And now I'm the speaker up here, so I guess it's coming full circle. But first, I want to thank the staff that's serving us. They're doing awesome. The food's great. I'd also like to thank Dr. O'Malley and Greg Hall for not just this, but being able to ride by all the high schools and seeing full parking lots on home games on Friday nights or during the week. It's hard to believe that just a couple short years, some home games weren't necessarily at home. So I think that's really cool to see. The athletic directors, the teachers, the principals, being the son of a coach, a teacher, the son-in-law of a teacher, and now the husband of a teacher. I understand the dedication and the time and the sacrifice after school hours, the stuff that you guys do and the effort you put in. And I think it's awesome. And also the parents. I remember looking back now and understanding now as a dad myself, knowing the sacrifice parents make financially, time, the stuff they like, the time, their own needs and wants, just so that you guys can compete. So that's something to think about too. But I want to talk about, I actually just kind of want to talk to the athletes because, this is what we're here for. And I did not write anything down, so if I get on a tangent, I really apologize. But I want to encourage you guys. I know you guys have a lot going on, and Greg Hall asked me to share a little bit of my life story on kind of what kind of led me through, my athletic path and my career path. And I feel like I can still relate to you guys. So I want to talk to you guys, and I want to start where you guys are at. As a senior in high school, I didn't have a scholarship going into my senior year. I signed, it was 2 weeks before football season started, and I signed to play at College of Charleston. That's kind of where my life kind of took a different turn. I started kind of being someone who I wasn't, trying to fit in. That kind of fishtailed into my freshman year in college. And I found out real quick that you go to college for school, and then athletics come next. And so with that being said, I was actually kicked out of college, and I was faced with my first life decision that could steer where I was going to go for the rest of my life, possibly. I could complain and say, oh, it's not fair. I could decide not to go to college, get a job, or I could put my big boy pants on and grind, and that's what I did. Ultimately, I took 4 or 5 classes every single summer. The next 3 summers while playing baseball with the Red Wolves, it's now the Flamingos. I went to Tech for a year, then went to Francis Marion, where I finished off with a 3.7, and that was from a .075. I told you I was a struggle. After my senior year, like they said, I was drafted, and I was hit with another life lesson. Kind of how baseball works is the more money you sign for, the more opportunities you get. And typically, money goes to younger players. I was a senior, so I signed for maybe half a tank of gas and a peanut butter jelly sandwich. So my opportunities were few and far between. So another roadblock, another opportunity to learn. So I grinded every single year until I got to AAA. 2015 in AAA, I got the most playing time, the most consistent playing time I got in my career, and that was the worst year I had ever playing baseball. And at the end of the year, I had to take a step back and figure out what I wanted to do. And I was like, I don't know quite the direction I want to go career-wise. Well, I was met with a big league spring training invite. I had the best spring of my life. Everything was going great. 2 weeks into spring training, I get called into the GM's office, and I'm like, man, I might make it to the big leagues. I might make it. Well, then they hit me and said, hey, we don't have any room for you on the AAA roster. You can kind of ride it out. May probably get released, or we want you to be a coach. And I wasn't happy. My pride was hurt. I was pretty angry. And I left him with one of those, I'll text you later. But I went back to the team hotel, and my wife and I got married the previous year. And I went back to the hotel and was complaining and all that. And just as usual, my wife was the voice of reason, talked me into coaching a year. And I was like, you know what, I'll coach 1 year till it'll be a stepping stone to my next job, just figure it out. And I look up and 5 years have gone, and I'm still coaching. And I stepped away because being gone 9 months out of the year just wasn't for me. I love being in Florence. I love my family. I've got 25 cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents that eat at my grandma's every Sunday. But then, I started thinking about why I wanted to coach and why I loved it. And it's exactly why I'm here. It's not because, to talk about myself. It's because I still feel like I can relate. I can relate to how physically hard being a student athlete is, or being a kid in general. I still feel like I can relate to that. I feel like I remember the mental struggles you go through. I feel like that emotional roller coaster of trying to perform and be somebody. I remember that. A verse that comes to mind, but actually my life verse, is Romans 12:2. It's, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind so that you can test and see the goodness of God. And it's like, it would take me forever to unpack this, but a thing that I think all of us can relate to is that renewal of your mind. That's being intentional. You guys are student athletes, you girls are student athletes. You don't just drift into working hard. You don't drift into being a team player. It's something you have to be intentional about. And another thing, it pretty much mentions is like, it's not going to be easy. I'll go ahead and be honest with you. What you guys are about to get into, whether it's being a student athlete in college, whether it's a job, whether it's a student, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a grind. But I want you guys to, if you can't get anything from me, get it from this. Like, don't let athletics define you. Don't let that be what your purpose is. You can use that purpose. But I want to encourage you guys, don't set just goals about like what college you want to go to, how much money you want to make, what you want to do, but set goals to like be a good human being, set goals to help people, set goals to have friends that help hold you accountable to that standard. But I just want to hopefully you can see like my transparency. I'm not up here. Hopefully that didn't highlight what I've done up until this point. But I just want to encourage you guys, like, make sure you guys stay rooted in who you are. Set goals that'll help you attain whatever other goals that you have. And I just want to wish you good luck. And don't let the outcome of this, dictate your emotions, because you're more than just a student athlete. And good luck.
All right, I'm back. So before I get into telling you a little bit about South Florence High School, I did want to recognize our district marketing team. This program is incredible. I would challenge you to find one better anywhere else in the state. I think we're the only district that does this. But so before we get into athletics, there's one thing I want to do before we do that, and it's because I would be negligent if I did forget to mention it. But I want to recognize Ms. Josie, the administration team, the faculty and students of South Florence High School for earning the designation of Palmetto's finest. So that is probably the single greatest victory of this year. And unless you've been through it, you may not understand how that process works or the amount of time that went into preparing for those site visits. There was a lot of teamwork. Everyone kind of pulled together for the good of the school and focused on a singular goal. There were feelings, lots and lots of feelings. Feelings of curiosity, apprehension, investment, stress, exhaustion, doubt, confidence, more doubt, anticipation, elation, and finally pride. There was leadership, there was visionary leadership, servant leadership, transformational leadership. You name it, it's on display at South Florence High School every single day. Truly to be blessed with the privilege of working at South Florence High School, Palmetto's finest school. All right, now for athletics. So this year began as every year has in the recent past, construction. Thank you to Dr. O'Malley, the district leadership team, and the Florence One Schools Board of Trustees for our incredible new baseball facility and the softball team's new locker room facility, and all the continuous improvement you also graciously and enthusiastically make to our athletic facilities. South Florence's desire to continue growing and developing into a premier athletic program is only possible with your support, and it is much appreciated. So let's talk continued growth. So during the 2020-2021 school year, South Florence High School had 374 student athletes across 3 seasons. At the end of the 2024-2025 school year, we had 583 student athletes. I'm assuming that we're probably closer to 600. That was, kind of the beginning of the spring. We have added some since then. So we've added 4 athletic teams during that time: men's wrestling, women's wrestling, men's volleyball, and competitive cheer. For those that are unaware, that is very, very uncommon. We live in a time where programs are cut and not added. Next year, we will add women's flag football. Very exciting. Florence One will be the first district in the state to add this sport at the high school level. Florence One will lead the charge to see this as the next sport sanctioned by the South Carolina High School League. Thus far, we've had a very successful year. 5 teams have won region championships in Region 5 4A competition. Women's tennis, coached by Kim Osborne, softball by Mr. Bobby Jones, men's soccer by Mr. Sam Tyndall, and women's soccer by Ms. Kaylee Varney, and then men's golf coached by Mr. Trent Clary. All of those were region champions. Each of those coaches mentioned were also voted as Region Coaches of the Year, an honor they earned as a result of their leadership and their focus and commitment to the development of our student athletes. We've had 2 teams reach the state semifinals this year, women's tennis and football. Football advanced to and won the 4A state championship. We still have several teams participating in the postseason for spring sports. Softball, baseball, men's golf, and track and field still have some work to do. We're hoping we can add to this list of accomplishments in a few short weeks. In terms of individual honors, we had 6 student athletes earn 4A All-State. McCall Gregg for women's volleyball, Harmony Bostic, women's basketball. She's an 8th grader, by the way. Thank you, Southside. Yvonne Rosado, men's wrestling, and Anaya Brunson from women's wrestling, and Ariel Daniels from women's wrestling, and then last but not least, Peyton Perry from softball. Those were our all-state student athletes. We had 86 student athletes selected to Region 5 4A all-region teams, 59 of which were first-team selections. 14 student athletes were selected as Region Player of the Year. McCall Gregg won the Women's Volleyball Offensive Player of the Year. Sarah Grace Askins, Women's Tennis Player of the Year. Amari Adams, Football Defensive Player of the Year. Harmony Bostic, Women's Basketball Co-Player of the Year. Noah Snipes, Men's Tennis Player of the Year. Peyton Perry, Softball Pitcher of the Year. Gabe McLaughlin, Baseball Defensive Player of the Year. Braden Robinson, Baseball Pitcher of the Year. Mohammed Kamate, he's a foreign exchange student. Thank you to the country of Mali. Men's Soccer Player of the Year. Tyler Hughes, Men's Soccer Offensive Player of the Year. Lorenza Long, Men's Goalkeeper of the Year. Brittany Sloan, Women's Soccer Player of the Year. Kylie Fountain, Women's Soccer Offensive Player of the Year. And Tyler Jones, Women's Soccer Defensive Player of the Year. Additionally, we had 2 players selected to the Shrine Bowl. Amari Adams, who's now at Clemson University, and Jaden Sellers, who is at the University of South Carolina. 3 student athletes selected to participate in North-South events. Cameron Coe for football, Ravon Rosado for wrestling, and Peyton Perry will participate in the softball North-South game this summer. All of these incredible individual accomplishments would not be possible without an incredible group of coaches who led these student athletes daily in the direction of their dreams. I'm incredibly proud of the work that our coaches do on a daily basis. I've never been around a group of harder working individuals than those who serve our student athletes each and every day. I would like to take a moment just to recognize a few of them before I finish. Coach Bobby Jones secured his 600th victory this season, something of which he should be very proud. Coach Marlowe reached his first major victory milestone this year, claiming his 50th victory, all of which have been at South Florence. He did so defeating Westside in the 4A state championship game. Our women's soccer coach, Kaylee Varney, is a young coach who has a contagious passion for the game. She led her team to a region championship this year. Coach Kim Osborne has had many successful years at the helm of our women's tennis program. After a semifinals run this season, I'm looking forward to what she holds in store for next year. And then finally, Coach Kenny Gray, who has been at South Florence for 30-plus years, is closing in on his 400th win, and we are very fortunate to have leaders like this guiding their respective teams. Though all of these accomplishments are great, we head into South Florence's 50th anniversary knowing that the work is not done. We know that we have not accomplished all that we can, and that we, as a department, have yet to reach our full potential. We will strive to do that next year, the year after that, and again every year after that. We look forward to the hard work and long hours required to win championships. The 2025-2026 school year is just a few short months away, and we've already begun preparations for another exciting year in athletics. Finally, as we look forward to ushering in a new era for our track and field program, we get closer to the, you guessed it, construction of our new track. At this time, I'd like to present you with the 2024-2025 Athletes of the Year from South Florence High School. The Outstanding Male and Female Athlete of the Year is the most coveted award at South Florence High School. Very few senior athletes qualify for this prestigious award, as it requires them to have displayed outstanding sportsmanship, superior work ethic, and dedication to the improvement of the programs that they represent. Based on the criteria for this award, the winner will be determined based on their athletic achievements and for the body of work they have put together as a student athlete over their career at South Florence High School. We are proud to announce the Male and Female Athlete of the Year for South Florence High School, Mr. Lennox Valerie and Miss Anaya Brunson. Lennox is a member of our football, basketball, and track and field teams. He was a dynamic wide receiver, an aggressive leader for our basketball team, and a state leader in the high jump. He is exceptional in all that he does. Academically, Lennox maintains a 3.6 GPA. Lennox is a leader within our school and always does things the right way. It has been an honor to watch him grow and mature over the past 4 years. Lennox is a two-time member of the All-Region team for football and basketball. This year, he was a member of the state championship football team. He was second on the team in touchdown receptions with 11 and total receiving yards with 770 yards on 40 receptions. He led the team in yards per catch and was a huge threat to opposing defenses. While Lennox was only a member of the football program for 2 seasons, they were both memorable for South Florence High School and our community. November and December have been rough for our basketball team the last few years. This year was no exception. Thankfully, football season does have an ending, and Lennox provided a spark to our basketball team with his energy and controlled but aggressive play. They say that a single player doesn't make a team, and that's true, but one player can hold a team together and generate enough excitement to change the trajectory of a season. We appreciate everything Lennox has done for South Florence athletics, but there's more work to do. As of this writing, Lennox is the state leader in the 4A classification for high jump. He still has an opportunity to build upon his legacy at South Florence. He knows what he needs to do. Lennox has signed his national letter of intent to continue his football career at Anderson University. We are proud of the growth and leadership he has shown, and we look forward to his continued success at the next level. This is Anaya Brunson. Anaya will leave South Florence as one of the most decorated student athletes in the history of South Florence. She may be the most decorated individual student athlete. She competes in strength training, women's wrestling, and track and field. Anaya is naturally gifted, but she was fortunate to be very well coached by Sean Armstrong, our strength coach, and Marcus Montgomery, our women's wrestling coach. She's a 3-time state champion in strength training and conditioning and a state champion in women's wrestling. She is a true champion. This year, Anaya was named the Female Lifter of the Year by the South Carolina Strength Coaches Association after she won her 3rd state title. For what it is worth, this was only the 3rd year a women's state champion has been crowned in the sport of strength training. She could have become complacent after her first title, as many young people do. However, her championship motivated her to continue her training and the work towards winning more titles. As a wrestler, Anaya won a state title in the 190-pound weight class, and only the 2nd year that South Carolina has offered women's wrestling as a sanctioned sport. In 2024, Anaya finished as a state runner-up. Recently, Anaya went to Virginia Beach to compete in Scholastic Nationals, where she represented South Florence and the state of South Carolina. She finished that tournament 2-2 and defeated 2 state champions along the way. Anaya is an amazing athlete and representative of both South Florence and the Florence community. Her strength is in her dedication to her passions. We look forward to watching her continue to grow and flourish as an adult. Anaya is undecided on what her future holds, but she looks forward to the challenges that life brings her way. At this time, I'll welcome Greg Johnson to the podium.
Thank you, Coach Slaughter. I was looking forward to a joke, but that's okay. I appreciate that too. Before I start, Coach Slaughter did a great job introducing some people, but I want to introduce four more to you that are very important to today's proceedings. The first of which is Alan Johnson, who's with us from BSN. Raise your hand, Alan. Please say hello. Alan's the president of BSN South Carolina. And the guy next to him is Matt Norris. Matt Norris is our BSN representative. He likes all of us a lot. Okay, he keeps us looking good. He makes sure that when we get somewhere, we're the best dressed, and he does a really good job, Matt. I appreciate that. The other two are at the same table. Miss Heather Borman is here. Raise your hand, Miss Borman. Come on, raise your hand, Miss Borman. And Miss Hoffman's sitting right next to her, Miss Kim Hoffman. These two are the first two I call if I need something, and they're always in a great mood. They're always very willing to help. Before I start my speech, I want to say thanks to Barrett. Barrett, where'd you go? I lost you. There you go. I'm going to tell you a really quick story about your dad. He's been a great mentor to me, and he and I talk about twice a week. And this spring, I was going through a very hard time. And if you guys don't know Coach Clank, he has a volume control issue, and so he is unbelievably loud. Barrett, is that fair? He screams at you on the phone, and he's got a flip phone from 1974, and he's just screaming into it. And Coach Clank calls and said, "Greg, know you're going through a hard time. What do you got going on?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm telling him." And he said, "I'm in the AT&T store getting a new phone." And I said, "Coach, you can call me back later." He said, "Nope, not a big deal, not a big deal." And so we talked 20 minutes. I was driving somewhere, and he finally said, "Greg, if you got a second, I want to take a few minutes to say a prayer for you." And I said, "Yeah, Coach, but you're getting a new phone right now. Let's do this later." He said, "Nonsense, that's ridiculous." And so he starts praying, and in the same prayer, "Lord, thank you for Greg and his leadership. I pray you bless his decision making. Yes, I do not want a new telephone at all. I want to keep what I have. I insist." So I love Coach Clank, and I respect who he is. He's who he is everywhere, and he's been a great mentor to me, and so I wanted to tell you that. I appreciate that. Let's jump into it. I've got a lot, so get comfortable. Coach Slaughter had a lot too. I don't care. Let's talk about it. I feel like yesterday I was standing in the same room giving this same speech. I want to start off by saying how blessed I am to be in the position for the 8th time. It's a blessing to be talking about our program success. It's even more of a blessing to be working with people that I get to work with and I get to call friends. Mr. Matt Dowdell is an unbelievable principal to work with. He's an even better friend. My coaches, some are here, some couldn't skip second and third block, have been a blessing to me. It's a unique opportunity to work with Coach Slaughter and Coach McQueen, both of whom make my job easier. If you were an athletic director, you would understand I can't give a higher compliment than that. Finally, I'm blessed to work in Florence One schools. Myself, Coach Slaughter, and Coach McQueen are the envy of every other school and athletic director in the state. The vision, the implementation of the vision, the leadership and the support are unrivaled. The success our schools are experiencing is a result of the decisions our leadership has made. And it should not be a surprise to anyone that all of our schools are contending for championships regularly. We started off this year not knowing much. We moved up to 5A. We changed regions and didn't really know what to expect. Football season was a pleasant surprise. We finished 8-4, made the third round of the playoffs, and practiced on Thanksgiving Day. Coach Jennerette retired from being a head coach at season's end, and Coach Chad Wilkes, who's with us today, has taken over the program. There's a buzz coming out of spring practice, and the Knights are going to be a lot better than people think. Men's volleyball in its sophomore season again made the state playoffs. Coach Coker continues to impress, and our team finished above 500 and was only one of 8 teams in our classification to make the playoffs. In women's volleyball, the Knights again made the playoffs and finished above 500 despite an extremely young team. Women's tennis won the region championship and made it all the way to the lower state championship for the second year in a row. Coach Sullivan won Region Coach of the Year, and Shelby White, an 8th grader at Moore Middle School, was the Region Player of the Year and earned all state honors. Women's golf under first-year head coach Chris Dale finished 7th in the state and returns the entire lineup next year to make another run at a trophy. Cross country had tremendous seasons also. You'll hear more about that later. I lost my place. Despite vastly improved competition, both the boys and girls finished in the top 10 in the state, and Caleb Burrows, John Holliday, and Kaylana Burrows earned all state honors. The swim teams both won the city championship, and the girls team finished just outside of the top 10, finishing 11th. Winter sports experienced some growing pains this year. The highlight of basketball season was a win over crosstown rival Wilson. It's very important no one asked me any questions about this because it had absolutely nothing to do with the literal entire varsity team having the flu at the same time. Wrestling had an awesome season, winning the city championship for the second time ever and making it to the second round of the playoffs. For the first time ever, the Knights had 2 ladies participate in the state championship singles tournament, and the wrestling team only loses 1 senior off of a team of more than 40, so the future's bright. The spring's been good to the Knights. Though it's had its challenges, it's lasted a long time. It's fun to win. Baseball won its 20th game for the 3rd year in a row, finished second in Region 5 behind number 1 ranked Blythewood, won a city championship, and they're in the driver's seat in the district playoffs. They hope to play again soon if the rain ever stops. The softball team has been dominant again, currently sitting at 18-4 and still alive in the playoffs. Rookie head coach Randy Locklear won Region Coach of the Year, and Annie Ruth Eliason won Region Player of the Year, as well as Region Pitcher of the Year. This is notable because it's not allowed, but the coaches from the other schools refuse to vote for anyone else. With 4 strikeouts tonight, Rue will reach a career milestone of 1,000 career strikeouts. That's a lot. The team also had the pleasure of playing in what we think is the coolest facility in our state. Men's soccer was highlighted by a city championship and career win number 650 for Coach Andrews. He is second all time in the United States in wins. One day he hopes to make at least one soccer parent happy. Thought I'd get a bigger laugh than that, that's okay. The girls' soccer teams had a really fun season and currently sit with a record of 19-3. 2 of those losses have come to number 1 ranked Blythewood. They will play St. James tonight in Merle's Inlet in the 3rd round of the state playoffs, and the winner advancing to the lower state championship. Freshman Ellison Banner broke a 15-year-old single-season goal record, scoring an incredible 49 goals. Somehow this was ignored, and the Region Player of the Year was the goalie of the 6th place team. West Florence fatigue is a real thing. Men's tennis reached the 3rd round of the state playoffs, and Coach Warren Coker won his 100th career tennis match as a head coach. Freshman Hewitt Dawkins won Region Player of the Year, going 10-0. Hewitt and his brother JR both qualified for the state singles tournament, featuring only the top 24 players in the state. Men's golf's had an amazing year that you guys likely haven't heard about. They went undefeated in match play and will continue Thursday in the lower state qualifier in Berkeley. Finally, track has had perhaps their best season ever. No record is safe in the record books. The boys won the lower state championship last week and have the opportunity to win the whole thing on Thursday. The girls, without the athlete of the year you'll hear about in a few minutes last week because of illness, finished 3rd. They are shooting for a top 5 finish on Thursday. To sum it up, it's been a great year. We won 15 city championships, 2 region titles, had 50 all-region athletes, 2 coaches of the year, and played in 7 state championships so far. We had 66 scholar athletes, and for the 5th year in a row have a team GPA of average of 4.2. The best is yet to come. Applause. Let's talk about athletes of the year. Destiny, come on up, stand next to me. The West Florence Athlete of the Year Award has been given out for more than 50 years. Those years are full of trophies, names, and memories that define our history. The award is not given to simply the best athlete, but the best all-around student athletes in our program. To earn this honor, the recipient exemplifies a proactive student, positive role model, productive citizen, as well as a good athlete. Since I arrived at West Florence, we've been fortunate enough to have some memorable names win this award. Cooper Wallace, Emmy Rollins, Avion McBride, Franklin Emerson, and Jordan Perry are especially memorable. While this year's winners aren't as loud, I mean that literally, they're not as loud as their predecessors, their resumes speak volumes. As is always the case, the coaching staff at West Florence has difficult choices to make. The Knights have been winning a lot more than they've been losing recently, and that's because of the student athletes that walk our halls. As anyone hearing this is aware, I could go on for hours and hours about our nominees and the run of success they've had, but I'll try to keep it short and sweet. But I'm very proud of who they are and what they've accomplished, so forgive my ramblings. The winners should be proud that they represent our program better than anyone else. This is Destiny Mitchell. Destiny's one of more than 550 student athletes at West Florence. I wish I had a fun story to tell about Destiny to speed this up, but I cannot. I don't have anything dramatic like that in Destiny's case. However, what I can say is I would rather spend time with Destiny Mitchell than eat ice cream. Very few kids in our school, student athlete or not, are more fun to be around. Destiny has a permanent smile on her face. Her positivity is infectious, and her love for the school and our program is easy to spot. Athlete, sure, but Destiny is also a fan of our program. On the afternoon I wrote this, she was at a tennis match. She was the only other student there, cheering on a few buddies for senior night. The point I'm not doing a great job delivering is that Destiny is a perfect example of our program. She works hard, cheers for her teammates, crushes her schoolwork, is active in her community, and everything else you can think of. What sets her apart from the rest of our students is she's got a ring. We'll get to the ring later. First, let's check the boxes. To win the award, you can't just be a good athlete. Good athletes are a dime a dozen. When Destiny's playing days are over, her education will get her where she needs to be. To be casual about it, Destiny has rocked the classroom. Her 4.257 GPA checks the box. She's been special in the classroom. She's aced the honors classes, the college classes, the AP classes, etc. She's been a part of the STEM program, part of the National Technical Honor Society, the Beta Club, the National Honor Society, and she's completed the sports medicine class through McLeod and done a medical internship at our school. Need a hand in the community? I know a girl. Destiny does not have much free time. During her time at West, she's been a part of the Dapper Dames, the Friday Readers, and the Special Olympics. She's volunteered for every elementary school field day there ever has been, even though she didn't go to any of those schools. She actually went to Atlanta Elementary, where she's also an alumni volunteer. She's done Lights for Paws, Trunk or Treat, and enjoyed every second of it. Just this year, she completed more than 100 hours of community service. She even makes time on Sunday to go to Mount Zion Free Will Church. Consider those boxes checked. Make no mistake about it, Destiny's a very nice girl. She's a good student, she's helpful, etc. But Destiny Mitchell's a baller. At the spring ceremony in May, Destiny will receive her 9th varsity letter. She's been a varsity track athlete for 5 seasons and a varsity basketball player for 4. She's won Coaches Awards, Rookie of the Year Awards, 2 Teammate of the Year Awards. In track, Destiny's earned all-region honors in 4 different events for 3 years in a row. The current track season is not included in those stats. Her events are the 100 hurdles, the long jump, the triple jump, and the high jump. She added the 4x1 this year and will compete on Thursday in the state championship. For the past 2 seasons, she's earned all state honors in the high jump and has twice been named the field MVP of her team. On the second Saturday in March for the last billion years, Wando High School holds a track meet called the Mellow Mushroom. Destiny has been the field MVP of one of the biggest and best events in the state 3 times. She's qualified for the state championship 5 times, with the final state championship being held Thursday of this week. That's a lot of success. The highlight came last May when Destiny won the 4A state championship in the high jump. With a jump of 5 foot 4 inches, Destiny successfully threw her body over a bright yellow bar, and when she hit the landing pad, she was a champion. Her performance helped the girls finish as state runner-up in last year's team championship. She hopes to do it again this May, and this time everybody else on the team joining her. She hopes to do it again next year too. This time she'll be in Orangeburg. Destiny has accepted a scholarship to South Carolina State University to run track starting in the fall. What I want everyone hearing this to know about Destiny is she has dominated in a fashion not many have done before her. She's been a leader in the school and the community, and she has absolutely blasted the competition with a smile on her face. She's kind to others, and she'll be missed on Beltline Drive. The West Florence Female Athlete of the Year is Destiny Mitchell. Congratulations. I'm almost done. Caleb, come on up. Don't run. We got to rest these legs for Thursday. When Caleb transferred to West Florence the summer before his freshman year, there was already a buzz about him. On his first day of summer practice, a short kid showed up that weighed about 75 pounds. It took about 5 minutes, though, to see how special this little shrimp was going to be. For the last 4 years, Coach Weidman and I have had a front row seat to the show. Let's not start with the athlete, let's start with the student. This young man is ranked number 11 in a class out of 416. He boasts a GPA of 5.168. He was a junior marshal last year, and if there's an academic box that needs to be checked to win this award, go ahead and check it off. To be completely honest with you, his academic performance has been so good it's a little boring, and I'm on a word count. He's in the National Honor Society, the Beta Club, the National Technical Honor Society, and he's taking Sports Medicine 3 through McLeod, and he's really smart. Let's drive on. Sorry, I forgot about Palmetto Boys State and being named the Benjamin Moore Rival Scholar Athlete of the Week and the Partridge in the Pear Tree. Like the athlete, I'm going to speed up here. I have to mention the community stuff too. This kid's volunteered for the Senior Olympic Games, the Special Olympics, Lights for Paws, the Darlington Humane Society, Friday Readers, the Florence Track Club, and Trunk or Treat. He's been in the Sharper Knights. Again, if there's a box that needs to be checked to win this award, go ahead and check it. Most kids that check half these boxes are, for lack of a better word, nerds. My mom refers to them as mathletes. I call them non-coms, short for non-competitors. What makes this kid's accomplishment so much more impressive in all 3 areas, he comes in first, pun intended. Not one laugh? Wow, that's tough. Tough crowd. If he's the best student and has the most impressive community volunteer resume and the only cross-country and track runner name you've ever heard of, what makes him special? Simple answer, 2 words, work ethic. Caleb Burrows is a workhorse. In the classroom, in the community, and on the black oval across the street from Sam's Club, Caleb Burrows knows how to work. 7 years ago, I bought a house on Indian Drive. Every single day for the last 7 years, I've seen Caleb and his sister, Kaylana, who's probably going to be here next year. Run by my house. I've seen Caleb and his sister run by my house with their mom following them running, with their dad following them on a bike, in rain, in snow, in ice, in sleet. Dad's not a very good bicycler. So what has all that work and all these miles gotten him? What does Caleb have to show for all this running? How about the top 4 times in West Florence cross-country history? His top time ever at 15 minutes and 6 seconds. That's 3.2 miles in 15.6 seconds, or 15.06, excuse me. How about school records in track and field? He has the all-time record in the 800 and the 1600 and the 32. Those are just records the casual fan knows about. Every medley record, every odd event that he's ever attempted, he's won it. The 800 meter record that he has, that's the fastest in the history of our state. 4 people in the state's history have run faster than that in the 1600. Just 4. Records are cool, but what about trophies? Let's talk cross country first. He's earned all region honors 5 times. Caleb has won the Region Athlete of the Year award 3 times. That's 22, 23, and 24. At the state championship cross country meet, the top 15 finishers earn all state honors. His freshman year, he finished a brutal 16th. He did not let it happen again. The next 3 seasons, he did in fact earn all state honors. Can you imagine being a 3-time all-state performer in your second best sport? What if Lenore Sellers made all-state in soccer 3 times? He might have actually, Cody. He was really good. Track and field is not as popular of a sport as football or basketball. If track was as big as those 2, this award might be named to the Burroughs Award. To be simple, Caleb has been dominant. Caleb's earned all-region status 6 years in a row in 4 different events. 3 times he's been named the Region Athlete of the Year. Keep in mind that's for track, not cross country. Keep up. And twice he's made the all-state team. Caleb has reached the podium, which means top 8, in the state championship in 4 different events. If you took Caleb's performance in the state championship just last season, his 3 top 6 finishes scored enough points to beat half the field. Do I need to explain that to you guys? Caleb beat half the teams in the state last year by himself at the state championship track meet. His senior season has been what Caleb's been working for years. His parking spot in the senior lot has a painting of him crossing the finish line first in the 1600s at the state championship. He'll get a chance on Thursday. Earlier this season, he ran a 3:55 1500 meters at Ridgeview's Blazer Invitational, good enough for a top 10 time in the country. Caleb also had the unique opportunity to represent our school and our district last month at the Penn Relays, the country's oldest and most prestigious track event. He ran 4:13 and finished 5th in the elite mile, a race featuring only the best in the world. In conclusion, I'll say this about Caleb. In 20 years, I will not remember his runs. I won't remember his times or his performances, or that he was named All-State 6 times and probably 7 times after Thursday. I won't remember that his senior season, he was the favorite to win the 800, the 1600, and the javelin. What I will remember is how he has shaped our cross-country and track programs. Before he got here, it was kind to say that we were a middle-of-the-pack program, but like a rising tide lifts all boats, Caleb's elevated our entire program. Since he got here, no team he's ever been on has finished outside of the top 7 in the state in 2 sports. That's 7 out of 7 performances. If I read this Friday, it's going to be 8 out of 8. Has anyone in the history of our school district been able to say that? Yes, Caleb runs like the wind blows, but his work ethic has inspired others to run too. His leadership has encouraged young kids, including my own, to try a new sport. His character has given our program's name respect in the cross-country and track world, and his drive has inspired classmates and athletes alike. What I'll remember about Caleb Burroughs is he took our program from the middle to the front. He's done it all with a quiet and humble smile. Ladies and gentlemen, Caleb Burroughs. Coach McQueen, let's hear from you.
Mr. Hall, next year I'm putting in early. Putting in early. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon. I promise you I won't keep you long. But what I would just love to do is I would love for us to give our parents a round of applause. The parents of these kids, as a parent of a kid who won Florence One School Female Athlete of the Year, I know exactly how you're feeling right now. I know how proud you guys are of your kids. I know the sacrifices that you've made over the course of the years. All of the changes, no vacations, funds kicking out, I'm with you. So I just want you guys to know how much we appreciate you, and we would love to celebrate you guys as well. Although we're celebrating our kids, but man, I would love to celebrate you guys as well. And we just thank you in Florence One for your commitment to each one of your schools, the programs that they participated in, and all of the things that you guys have done to make Florence One Schools what it is. I would just like to thank the parents. Man, tough acts to follow. South Florence continue to do what they've done the last couple of years. Coach Marlowe, 2 state championships in 3 years. Congratulations to them. West Florence continue to win at a high level, and little old Wilson, we bringing up the rear. But man, it's like when we play against South and West, it's like playing state championships during the course of the season, more so than what you're having to play within your region. But man, just happy to be a part of it. Happy to be a part of the battles. They drive us to get better. And so again, we just appreciate them for all that they do. I work with 2 of the best in the state, in Greg and Cody, and I really appreciate both of them, because they help me so much in ways that they probably don't realize, but man, it's a pleasure to work alongside those guys and everything that they do. Wilson High School, 24-25 season. We had 4 coaches of the year. Ms. Chadlock, swim, girls swim. Valerie Paul, twice, 2 times coach of the year, cross country and girls track. Fred Davis, boys tennis. John Davis, girls volleyball. Players of the year, we had 4. 4A state player of the year, and that's meaning all 4A players in the state of South Carolina. We had 1. We had Josh Leonard, who also participated in USA Basketball, and I mean the real USA Basketball. A lot of times we hear about USA Basketball, we're going to local stuff. He went to Colorado Springs, has an opportunity to make the USA Olympic basketball team. And so we had 1 to do that. We had all state players. We had 4 this past season. Competitive cheer. In 3 years, we finished 12th in the state, 4A in the state this past season. And so 3 years in, man, the first 2 years was a grind. And so this past season, we actually participated in the state championships, and we finished 12th. And probably in the first time that we've had an opportunity, we actually won the city championship in competition cheer. So off to a good start in competition cheer. City championships, we've won 5. That's boys and girls volleyball. Competitive cheer, boys and girls basketball. All region players this past season, we had 80. Region championships, we had 6. Boys tennis, girls cross country, girls volleyball, boys volleyball, girls track, girls swim. Boys volleyball, for the 2 years in for boys volleyball, we this year made the playoffs, and I want to say this is probably the first time in probably 15 years that at Wilson High School every athletic sport team participated in the playoffs. And so while that might not mean a lot to you guys, but man, over the course of the last couple of years with our spring teams, we have sucked wind. And I mean, we've really worked really hard over the course of the last couple of years in baseball, softball, boys and girls soccer, boys tennis, all participated this past season or here lately in the playoffs. So we're very proud of that as a program. Our girls volleyball team hosted their first playoff match ever. Community service hours. Hadn't talked a lot about that, but what we do is typically we ask our kids to do at least 10 hours of community service hour. This past season, we did basically over 4,800 hours of community service throughout all of our programs. We've had several kids to participate. Tamani actually participated in the Touchstone Energy Bowl, North-South Senior All-Star Game. We had SCBCA boys basketball top players in Josh Leonard and Tristan Thompson. We had SCBCA girls basketball player in Leah Swinton. Our department GPA is 3.95. Multi-sport athletes, we have 175. Scholar athletes, obviously, who has better than a 3.5 GPA. So that's just a little bit about our program. Obviously, as we've, like the other sports teams, we've started to get ready for the fall itself, and so we're very excited about that. Added a couple of new coaches, and so we're excited about football as well. And so our new football coach is here as well. And so Brian Wilson, if you'll raise your hand. We're putting a lot of weight on his shoulders. He's got to get this football program turned around. So we're excited to have him on board with us as well. Enough about Wilson. Athletics is more about the student athlete at this point. Adriana, if you'll come up. Stop being so nervous. You're all right. All right, Wilson High School is honored to nominate Andrea Ely is our Florence School Wilson Female Athlete of the Year. Andrea has been a virtual member of Wilson High School swim team for throughout her high school career. She went to high school state meets every year. She's been on the swim team, individual events, as well as being on the relays. Andrea has also swam Florence 1 area swim teams 2012 through 2025. Lebanese Swim Academy 2014 through 2025. Lebanese national team. She's also has a unweighted GPA of 4.0 and a weighted GPA of 5.428, and is ranked number 1 out of 304 in her class. So that itself is an honor to have an student athlete, to be ranked number 1. So it's just definitely not all about the athletics. Andrea is also an IB student, National Society of Scholars, National Honor Society Vice President, 24-25, a member of the Wilson High School Beta Club, extracurricular activities. She's completed 200 hours McLeod Hospital shadowing from 2022 through 2025, 200 hours. McLeod Emergency Department volunteer, 60 hours. South Carolina Area Health Education Quorum, 2022 through 2025. IB Ambassador, 22 through 25. South Carolina Youth in Government, 21 through 24. Wilson International Club, 22 through 25. Wilson Newspaper Team, 21 through 24. She volunteers her time in tutorial and helping other students in Lebanon, and as a Wilson Tigers tutor. Her volunteer experiences: Wilson Volunteers Tiger Club, President 21 through 25, McLeod Junior Volunteer Swim Program 24 through 25, Ties Together, including every student 21 through 25, Organization in Lebanon for students with disabilities in school during the summer 19 through 23, Schoolhouse and World Tour 23 to 25, international organization that connects with volunteers SAT tutoring to learn around the world. Youth group volunteer work 18 through 25. Wilson Tiger Tutorial 22 to 25. She also worked at the YSCA to teach young kids how to swim. She's a hard worker in and out of the pool, and her work ethic and character is also outstanding. For all of these reasons, I totally recommend her for honors. For the Florence 1 Female Athlete of the Year, she represents everything we hope to instill in our students: resilience, responsibility, respect. And I also, there's no doubt that she'll continue to make Florence 1 schools one proud for years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Andrea Ely. Trishna. As he's coming up, it's a great pride and enthused that we nominate Tristan Thompson for prestigious honors of Florence School 1 District 1 Male Athlete of the Year. Tristan exemplifies the true spirit of student athlete, demonstrating excellence in athletics, academic, and community service. On the basketball court, Tristan has designated himself as one of the top players or athletes in the state. He has been named Region Defensive Player of the Year and earned prestigious honors and being selected to the SCBCA as an All-State player for a second year. His exceptional performance and leadership earned him a spot on one of the top 10s in the state of South Carolina. Actually, he's in the top 4. Representing the state in the South Carolina-North Carolina All-Star Game, Tristan's basketball journey will continue at the next level as he continues to play at Coastal Carolina University. In addition to his basketball achievements, Tristan is also a valued member of Wilson High School track and fields, competing in the high jump. His athletic versatility speaks for itself with work ethic, discipline, commitment to his team. Beyond his athletic accomplishments, Tristan is deeply rooted in service and leadership within our school and our great community. He is also an active participant in our unified PE class, which fosters inclusion by pairing students with and without disabilities to share physical activities. This program promotes empathy, leadership, and acceptance, quality Tristan embodies daily. His compassion extends beyond school grounds. Tristan is also dedicated volunteer at Florence with Florence 1 Special Olympics, where he supports and encourages athletes of all abilities. During our team Thanksgiving trip, we went to Peoria, Illinois. Tristan took time out of our schedule for the most part and went to a children's hospital, bringing joy to young cancer patients who were unable to go home for the holidays. During the Christmas season, he volunteered at the Manor House in Florence, helping serve meals to individuals and families in need. These acts of kindness speak volumes about Tristan's character and heart. Tristan balances all of that while maintaining a 3.0 GPA, showcasing his commitment to academics and personal growth. His ability leads humanity, service, and compassion, and performs an excellent, making him not only a standout athlete, but also an outstanding young man. For all of these reasons, I wholeheartedly recommend Tristan Thompson for the honor of the Florence 1 Male Athlete of the Year. He represents everything we hope to instill in our student athletes: resilience, responsibility, and respect. And I have no doubt that he will continue to make Florence 1 proud in years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, Tristan Thompson. All right. I pass the mic back to Mr. Johnson.
It's a great privilege to be able to present the Jerry Lee Gotta Have Heart Award today. The Jerry Lee Gotta Have Heart Award has been given out in Florence for 25 years now. It is, of course, meant to honor the late, great Jerry Lee. Mr. Lee won the Ira Rainwater Trophy in 1952, which is now the award that you guys get today. Up until his death in 2023, he alone carried the burden of organizing this event and ensuring our student athletes in Florence were recognized. If you knew him, you knew it was something he was very, very passionate about right up until the end. Mr. Lee was also influential in creating the Florence Hall of Fame and was an American Legion baseball coach in Florence, winning a state championship in 1965. His name is synonymous with athletics in Florence. In the year 2000, Mr. Lee was diagnosed with cancer, and this award was created to honor a student athlete who, like Mr. Lee, showed tremendous courage overcoming adversity. Recent award winners include a student athlete that overcame open heart surgery to return to competition. Last year's winner was a soccer player from West Florence that came back after defeating cancer. This one's a little bit different, though. In the summer of 2023, we noticed 2 kids working out with our college players. The guys that were playing college ball would meet at 6 a.m. at West Florence to get their lifts and runs in. When we first talked to these two new guys, we were impressed with their ability and asked them where they played and who they knew, etc. Why were they here? Today's winner laughed at us and told us he was a free agent looking for an opportunity. He and his brother had just moved back to town, but hadn't signed up to go to school anywhere yet. They wanted to come to West Florence, but were unable to afford a physical at that time. Later that day, Coach Jenneret made his first trip to Clement Street and take them to get a physical. The rest, as they say, is history. 2 years later, and about 400 trips to Clement Street for Coach Jenneret, Coach Collins, and myself, Bobby Patterson is ready to graduate. He will do so in a few weeks with honors and a GPA of 3.9. Bobby has faced some challenging circumstances that brought him to Florence, but despite all of that, Bobby's attitude has been absolutely nothing but positive throughout his time here. Bobby is special because he knows everyone and is a friend to everyone. He knows my kids' names, has come to their games. He knows Coach Jenneret's sister-in-law and has threatened to drop in for dinner next fall when he's a college student in Conway. He knows Dr. O'Malley. At the softball stadium opening night, he dapped up Mr. Porter Stewart in what was probably the hardest handshake of Mr. Stewart's life. He knows every student athlete in the school, and they know him too. Opponents know him too. He's behind the TMT crew that you've heard at the baseball and softball games. He made Coach Slaughter laugh a few weeks ago at a baseball game, so much so he had to walk away. He knows the unified sports students too. So well, in fact, that he was awarded the Community Service Athlete of the Year for West Florence last year. After the Special Olympics this year, we received 5 emails from complete strangers with words of praise for Bobby, his passion visible to strangers. Make no mistake, though, Bobby's not getting an award because he's a nice kid. He's been a really good player for us and an even better leader. Moments ago, I talked about Caleb being the tide that rose all of the boats at West Florence. Well, Bobby is the captain of the ship. You need someone to kick someone in the butt, Bobby's the guy. You need someone to carry a box for a teacher, Bobby's the guy. You need a pass broken up in a big situation, again, it's Bobby. He was twice named an all-region performer in football, and his 2 interceptions at Westwood helped seal a big win for the Knights. Coach Bob, as he's now being asked to be referred to, a reference to his Powder Puff coaching career, is essentially the mayor of West Florence. His kindness has been infectious. We're talking about a guy that relies on rides to school from Coach Jenneret and Coach Collins every day. He still volunteers in the concession stand for the softball team so the mothers can watch the games. I've talked enough today, and my words are good, but they're not as good as Coach Collins and Coach Jenneret. Coach Collins says, in my 11 years as a coach and student athlete at West Florence, I've never seen a student sacrifice, support, and love West Florence athletics more than Bobby Patterson. Coach Jenneret added, this is the nicest thing Coach Jenneret's ever said about anyone. Bobby Patterson is without a doubt one of the most special people to ever wear green and gold. Bobby's the epitome of what our student athletes need to be like at West Florence. He's always got a smile on his face, and he brightens up the day of anybody that comes in his way. He's also an exceptional leader and teammate. We've got a unified sports program here at West Florence. That program entails a class where our athletes are paired with special needs students. Bobby has thrived in this area. He made each of those men and women feel special every day. It's incredible to witness the interactions during that class period. To this day, if he sees one of the unified students in the hall, he stops what he's doing and greets them. On a personal note, I've picked Bobby up from his home every day. I've seen up close and personal the living situation that Bobby has, and for him to be positive and upbeat every single day has, quite frankly, made me a better coach and a better dad. End quote. To be honest with you, students come and go. I don't always know the names of the athletes that played for us when they come up to me in the grocery store. Bobby is not in danger of being one of these. His attitude, his effort, and his kindness have made our school a better place. He's made an impact here that will last a long time. I'm proud to say next year Bobby's going to attend Coastal Carolina University. He's already got a job in the intramurals department and has already asked the boss for a promotion. The winner of the Jerry Lee Gotta Have Heart Award is Bobby Patterson. Next up, Mr. Scott Chancey.
Hello. Usually I'm up here this time of the year to present the Morning News All Sports Trophy, which is a competition between all the schools, all the athletic departments, on a point system on how their teams do. And we have that tally up right here. There were 3 sports not counted in the process: cheerleading, women's basketball, and softball. So with that due, on third place with 1 city championship, South Florence with 45 points. Wilson with 3 city championships, 65. And once again, with 15 city championships, West Florence High School wins the All Sports Trophy. Okay, before we start naming the male and female athletes of the year, just how about another round of applause for the honorees today? It's been a pleasure to cover all y'all this year and reach to the point where you are now. Thank you so much for the memories. And on that note, the male athlete of the year from Wilson High School, Tristan Thompson. Okay, and the winner for Female Athlete of the Year from South Florence High School, Naya Brunson.
It's kind of a proud dad moment to get to represent the district and hear all the amazing things that our athletic programs are doing, all of our athletes are doing. And it's an exciting time to be a part of Florence One. I hope all of these athletes leave Florence and in your next steps, and hopefully hold dear to your heart your experiences you've had at your respective schools and your respective programs. We are extremely proud of you. I hope that you can only understand the pride that we have, not just because you've brought us recognition, but because we've seen you flourish and we've seen you grow and we've seen your leadership develop, and we will be behind you everywhere you go. I assure you that. Your legacy will live on. I promise you, your legacy lives on. People will talk about you for some time. If nothing else, Greg Johnson will be able to say your eulogy extremely well with details of every place you've been and everything you've done, and throw a little humor in there too. I want to certainly make sure we recognize a few folks. Scott Chansey in the Morning News, who sustains this program and is the team that reviews and has the difficult challenge of selecting the male and female winners for the district. I want to definitely thank BSN Sports and Alan Johnson and the team for recognizing us and our athletes and providing the scholarships for the students as well as the trophies. The principals, athletic directors, coaches, the staff, you guys are fantastic, and to help these students get to where they are, it is absolutely a 13-year process for those that are here, and your commitment to develop these young people, not just in their skills, but truly as young people. We could not be more proud of how you invest into our kids. Barrett, appreciate your words today, and appreciate you talking with the people about your experiences, and I believe strongly that it probably fell on them in a way that's hopefully going to be meaningful. And certainly the board members, and Dr. O'Malley and the staff for their vision and supporting all this that we do. We certainly appreciate that. Parents, we couldn't do this without you. Thank you for being behind your kids. I assure you, as they move forward, you're not done. I have my own who are beyond the college age, and your job's not finished when they finish school. I promise you that. But thank you for that work that you do. We're so proud of you and your efforts that you've put into your children. We claim them as well. I promise you that we're proud of them and thankful for all that you do. This concludes today's ceremonies. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for all that you do. Have a great end of the year.